Alright, daddy's back. And I got that milk though. Says it's expired. 2 years ago. Yeah, got a new studio, got hair, lot has changed in 2 years. Computers fucking paint now. Before I tell you why I quit social media for 2 years, you know what I hate most about AI? Motherfuckers who don't paint and say, digital art, the computer just paints for you, right? And I used to be, no, you don't get it. But what the fuck do you say now? I spent all of my time from 2013 to 2020, 7 years of my life, just trying to get attention for my art. Build all these followers on Instagram, all these subscribers on YouTube, just to disappear at the peak of my social media following and leave everything behind. That was dumb. I always wanted to do something with my art, not just a living, but something bigger, to tell stories, to express myself, to impact people, just something. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm very obsessive. I love having something to get better at, to improve, like it just gives meaning to my life, like a project to work on. I remember that feeling of initially improving at art, like every time you do a painting, you see a bit of improvement, and it just kept me going. I wanted to crack the code, to learn how to paint, not just one thing, but everything. Characters, illustrations, figures, landscapes, and for multiple years learning how to paint was the only thing that I ever cared about. And after being able to do freelance work, I wanted to climb the next peak. So I put myself the project of creating an art book, and I spent 1 full year, the whole of 2020, just creating original characters and writing their short stories. And this is the time when my YouTube exploded, so the timing was perfect. My best friend became my partner and we did that project together. We sold over 2,000 books, just self-publish it like that, no big company, no nothing. And this is the last YouTube video on this channel. With all this experience and people being interested, the next project that made sense for us was creating an art course. And I'm not gonna try to sell you the fucking course in this video. And at the time, I've been having a mentorship for 2 to 3 years, but it was never my main focus. My main focus was getting better myself. But by talking to a lot of students, I saw that every artist had the same problem. They struggled with art block, they felt like something was missing in their work, but they didn't know what it was. They wanted to improve at many things, but were frustrated by their lack of progress, and they lacked confidence and felt like their work was hit or miss. And those were all problems that I had faced myself and overcome, so I wanted to give the solution to people. So I planned out the course, recorded a couple of lessons, and started promoting it. I even created a second YouTube channel just to promote the course, but I didn't post it on my main channel because I wasn't ready yet. And the plan was just to finish the course as soon as possible and go back to social media and postings. So far, so good. But I kept seeing students getting better and better, and that inspired me. It reminded me of that initial feeling of improving at art. I saw that the course videos we were releasing were working, so I was thinking, well, what if
the videos are even better? How much would people improve them?
And that inspired me more than my own personal art. It became my new obsession, seeing other people improve. I was so focused on making tutorials and paintings for the course that I stopped doing my own personal art. And from there, it was just downhill. I started seeing the progress of students as my own personal progress. So I would just keep everybody against this insanely high standard that I had for myself, and I started comparing my work to theirs, which was insane because I had more than 10 years experience more than them. It felt like no matter what drawings the students did, they could have been better. The videos that I was doing
could have been better.
It had taken me 6 months to just record 30% of the course. Like I could have recorded all the videos in 1 month and then just made them better in the future, but no, it had to be perfect now. I had to make all these slides and write hundreds and hundreds of pages of text. Like I wanted everything to be perfect. But because of all these high standards that I put on myself, we couldn't meet the deadlines that we had promised to our students. Just one video would take months at a time, and I would just try to perfect it and refine it over and over again. We even ended up hiring some of our students that were passionate about the project and working together so we can make videos faster, but we still couldn't meet the deadlines. I had locked myself up. I didn't care about YouTube. I didn't care about social media. All I cared about was creating the course. And everybody who knew me was like, oh, where you at? Are you still drawing? And I'm like, man, I'm putting all my attention on this course. And even when my friends would ask me, oh, how's the course going? It would just hurt me, and I would be like, I don't know, don't ask me. I became a really toxic person. I mean, I was already pretty toxic, but this was new heights even for me. The problem was that I was judging the results based on some fucked up standards in my own head. Because there was no clear criteria of how something needed to be, that inner perfectionist just ended up getting a tight hold of me. I felt trapped. I felt like I couldn't go back to posting before this project isn't finished, but the perfectionist in me wanted it to be perfect before we release it.
Is this good enough? Is this worth people money? What are people gonna say?
I was so afraid of failure, but I wasn't even aware of it. And it's funny because I feel like because I wasn't able to fight that fear of failure, at the end, I ended up failing everybody. I failed our old team, who almost every person left and said that I was a horrible human being, which facts. I failed the students who bought the course because it took more than 2 years to get finished when we had promised them just a couple of months. I failed everybody who was following me on social media because I had built this whole thing and then just disappeared. But most importantly, I failed my partner and my best friend, who had spent all his time working on this project with me and kept asking me, bro, why don't we just release some videos and we can refine them in the future and you can go back online and have even more people testing it and providing feedback so you can actually make it better. Like you're trying to make this too perfect without actually hearing the feedback of others. But I didn't listen. I was afraid of the feedback. I wanted it to be perfect. I didn't want any feedback. I wanted to get approval for the final result. Damn, this video is fucking depressing. And all these perfectionistic tendencies remind me of what usually artists experience with their art. I hear it all the time from students. Oh, my work is not good enough to post. Oh, it's not finished. I'll finish it some other time. All this self-doubt that we experience as creators, that's the shit that ends up eating you alive and makes you question everything you do. And ultimately, if you let that perfectionism out of control, it beats you and you just end up quitting. And I feel like as artists, we're innately drawn to perfectionism. Like we have this deep passion for the craft and we want to create something extraordinary. And I always thought that that's some great superpower that I have. But if you don't beat perfectionism, it ends up beating you. And funny enough, I had found a solution to all this when it came to creating art and making YouTube videos. But as soon as I got to creating a course, I fell right into the trap of perfectionism. And how did I beat perfectionism when it came to my art? I set myself realistic goals. I didn't try to create perfect art from the get-go. I try to look for what the smallest steps are that I can take, and I just took them one at a time, not trying to do everything. I established a clear criteria for myself. This is how many drawings I need to do, this is how they need to look, and this is my plan for doing them. I had a regular schedule. I knew that I had to do just one drawing a week or one video a week, and even though that I heard that inner critic telling me
this could have been done better,
I would just tell him to shut the fuck up and I'll get to the next one. I was focused on progress and not on perfection. When I was done with a painting, I would just tell myself this is my current level and that's okay. I'll just post it and get better with the next one. I seeked feedback for my art. I would post my work and actually look for constructive criticism. I wouldn't just close myself up because of my fear of rejection. I knew that the more feedback people gave me on my work, the better I was going to get. And all these things is what helped me to become a professional artist. They worked. But is that what I did when it came to creating a course? Hell nah. And now that the course is finally finished after 2 years, you know what I realized? That it can be done better. And you know why? Because art has no end. It's never finished. It's an infinite journey. It's always a work in progress. So you're either going to share it and that will help you to get even better, or you're gonna isolate yourself and allow perfectionism to beat you. And I've already started the next project. We're working on multiple new courses, one of them a figure course, but with these ones, I'm not gonna make those fucking mistakes. We're sharing with our community everything that we're developing every week. We're not waiting for it to be perfect. Fuck that. And if you're an artist who struggles with all of those things that I mentioned early in the video, I've made another course which is completely free. I call it the Digital Artist Roadmap, which shows you how I overcame those problems in my own art and the steps that I took to become a professional artist. If you want to check that out, you can go to our new website, dothewarriors.com, and sign up for free. And I don't think there's any mistakes in life, but if there was, not posting for 2 years would definitely be one of them. So I'm excited to be back to social media and creating art. I don't know what I'm gonna be posting exactly on this channel. I feel like I'm a grandpa who just woke up from a coma. I'm not even daddy anymore. I'm granddaddy.